Chapter 2. The Gift Corrupted. The coffee plants at the Silvera estate grow differently than the ones in San Rafael. I'm standing in the middle of a row, dirt under my fingernails, watching a half-Tamawa woman coax a dying bean back to life. She doesn't force it, doesn't bind anything, she just asks, and the plant listens. "You're staring," the woman says without looking up. Her name's Manang Esther, and she's got that ethereal quality all Tamawo have, like she's slightly out of focus with reality. Sorry, it's just, in San Rafael, Tio Canor would spend hours on one plant. Here you're doing it in minutes. Your Tio was doing it right. She finally looks at me, eyes too green to be entirely human. Slow, respectful. These workers... She gestures at the fields where dozens of people work, human and not quite human. We remember how it's supposed to be, before agurang, before the binding. There's that word again. Binding. Isabella used it, Enrique hinted at it. Everyone dances around it like it's cursed. Maybe it is. "Can you teach me?" I ask. "The right way?" Manang Esther tilts her head, studying me. "You've got too much sidlak in you. Burning through it like fuel, that's not sustainable, anak." "I don't know any other way." "That's because no one taught you properly." She stands, brushing dirt from her worn jeans. "Magic, real magic, the Likha. It's not just from inside you, it's all around. You're just focusing it, like a lens." She walks me through it. The breathing, the focusing, the words. "Magpakita kag magkari," show yourself and come. I close my eyes, breathe, reach for that silver fire inside me, but this time I don't pull from my core, I pull from everywhere. And I see it. Golden dust motes. Thousands of them. Floating in streams through the air, through the earth, through everything. The Likha streams, visible and alive and there. "Magkari," I whisper. The streams respond. They trickle toward me at first, then rush like a river finding its course. The dying coffee plant in front of me doesn't just heal, it explodes with life. Leaves unfurl, flowers bloom, coffee cherries ripen and fast forward. Whoa, easy. Manang Esther grabs my wrist, breaking my concentration. "You're going to overcharge the elemental." Too late. The plant's going haywire. Beans are blooming everywhere, the poor earth elemental powering it, looking drunk and overwhelmed. Other plants nearby start responding, like I've started a chain reaction. Sorry. I pull back and the streams scatter. The elemental gives me what I swear is a reproachful look before diving back into the soil. Manang Esther is laughing. "Well, you've got power, I'll give you that. Just, maybe, use less of it? I'm bad at subtle. I noticed." She pats my shoulder. "But you'll learn. Here, at the estate, we do things the old way. Partnership, not force. When you go to the city..." Her expression darkens. "It's different there. In Agurang, they've forgotten, or they don't care. The binding is everywhere." "What exactly is binding?" "Go to your mother's cottage," she says instead of answering. "Read her journals. She understood better than any of us." The cottage sits at the edge of the estate, overlooking the Visayan Sea. It's small, modest, nothing like the grand Silvera mansion in town that I haven't seen yet. I like it better that way. Inside smells like old paper and my mother's perfume, sampaguita and something citrus. The scent hits me like a fist. She's been dead 16 years and somehow her ghost is stronger than Tita's, who just died 3 months ago. Grief is weird like that. A cat materializes on the windowsill, black and white patches that seem to move, swirling like someone's stirring paint. It's unsettling. Okay, so, magical cat. Sure, why not? I've seen weirder things in the last 3 months. The cat, Cosmo, the name just appears in my head, stares at me with eyes that are definitely too intelligent, then jumps down and walks to the bookshelf, pawing at a particular spine. "You want me to read that?" Cosmo gives me a look that clearly says, obviously, human. I pull out the book. Looks like a journal. Leather-bound, worn, my mother's handwriting on the first page. Clara Silvera, 4th year, Maaram Academy. My hands shake as I open it. The first few entries are normal. Classes, friends, complaints about homework and boys and the food in the dining hall. Typical school stuff except with more mentions of summoning spirits and elemental theory. Then, about halfway through, the tone shifts. I saw something today I can't unsee. In the lower levels, where we're not supposed to go, they had spirits in cages, not partnered, not asked, chained, drained, used like batteries. Professor Malika says it's necessary, that the Academy needs power, that modern summoning requires binding to be efficient. I don't believe him. Lakan Liwanag tried to argue. He's the only instructor who teaches the old ways. Partnership, consent. The others mock him. Call him naive. Call him weak. But I've seen his spirits. They're stronger, happier. They choose to help because they want to, not because chains force them. The others, the bound ones, they're dying, slowly, painfully, and nobody cares. I flip through more pages. My mother's horror growing with each entry. Descriptions of the binding rooms. The legacy families profiting from selling bound spirits like slaves. The students who disappear when they ask too many questions. And then, near the end, I found a prophecy in the restricted archives. The Night Mother, an Aswang legend about a darkness that will consume everything if certain conditions are met. One of those conditions is the continued corruption of the Likha, the binding that's spread across our entire magical society. If we don't stop this, if we don't restore the true Likha, the Night Mother will rise. I have to leave. I have to get out before they realize I know. Benild and Nicanor are coming with me. We'll find another way. We'll teach the old magic. The entry ends there. Ripped page. Whatever came next is gone. I sit on the floor, the journal in my lap, and finally understand why my mother ran, why Tita and Tito left, why they spent their lives in San Rafael, teaching me partnership summoning in secret, never using the word binding. They were hiding from the Academy, from the legacy families, from a system so corrupt it might literally end the world. And now I'm about to walk right into it. Cosmo jumps into my lap purring. His swirling pattern seems sympathetic. Thanks for the warning, I tell him. Really helpful. Super not terrifying at all. He headbutts my hand. I take it as, you're welcome. A week later, Manang Felipe drives me into Agurang proper in the most ridiculous vehicle I've ever seen. Is that a Jeep or an oven? I ask, staring at the Ford Fiera that's apparently our transportation. Both, Felipe says cheerfully. He opens what looks like an oven door on the side and starts feeding in wood and crumpled paper. The engine runs on elementals, fire sprites mostly. They burn the fuel, convert it to energy, and boom, locomotion. That's insane. That's a gurang. He pats the hood affectionately. She's a good girl, runs better than most modern cars. I climb in. The interior is all 1980s Jeep, vinyl seats, manual windows, a radio that probably only gets AM stations. But when Felipe turns the key, the engine purrs like something alive. Because it is. I can feel the fire sprites dancing in there, happy to be burning things, and we drive to the edge of the estate where reality does something uncomfortable, and then we're through into Agurang. Holy language, Felipe chides, but he's grinning. Agurang is... I don't even have words. It's like someone took the Philippines in the 1960s and decided time should just stop. Spanish colonial houses, Bahay na Bato, line the streets, but they're maintained with magic, floating gardens, water flowing upward into fountains. Spirits everywhere working, moving, maintaining. But something's wrong. The spirits move mechanically, jerky, like puppets on strings I can't see. And the Likha streams, those golden dust motes Manang Esther taught me to see, they're not flowing naturally. They're being pulled, forced, redirected into buildings and infrastructure like someone's siphoning a river. Do you see it? Felipe asks quietly. The spirits. They're bound, aren't they? All of them, in the city anyway. His hands tighten on the steering wheel. The Academy controls everything, the legacy families profit from it, and everyone pretends it's normal, necessary, the cost of civilization. We pass through different districts. The Maharlika quarter is pristine. Perfect gardens, clean streets, buildings that look like museums. Humans walk around in expensive clothes, spirits attending them like servants who can't say no. Then we hit the Timawa district. It's not a slum, exactly, but it's clearly where the workers live. The buildings are older, more crowded. Half-breeds and supernatural beings do manual labor while humans direct them. The hierarchy is subtle but unmistakable. It reminds me of every social studies class about colonialism I've ever slept through. Except this time, it's happening now. to people and non-people I can actually see. My sidlak flickers in response. Angry, wanting to do something, I push it down. Not yet. I need to understand this system before I can break it. If I can break it. If I don't get killed trying. Maaram Academy makes Hogwarts look understated. It's like Disney and a Spanish cathedral had a baby, I say as we approach. Felipe snorts. That's one way to put it. The academy sprawls across a hilltop, impossible architecture defying every law of physics I know. Buildings float at different elevations. Gardens exist in layers, each with its own weather system. I watch snowfall on one terrace while tropical flowers bloom on another. There's a tree bearing what looks like every fruit simultaneously, a forest that generates its own rain, stopping and starting on schedule. It's beautiful. It's absurd. It's terrifying. Miss Silvera, a man in formal Barong Tagalog approaches beaming. Welcome. I'm Dado Escobia, Student Affairs. We're so honored to have you. He's Maharlika, obviously. Everything about him screams wealth and privilege. His smile is warm, but his eyes assess me like I'm a painting he's considering buying. Thank you, sir, I say, keeping my voice respectful. The academy is impressive, isn't it? 400 years of magical advancement. Come, let me show you to your quarters. We walk through gates that shimmer with protective wards. Students in various uniforms move through the grounds, some in expensive robes, others in plain gray that marks them as Timawa. The divide is instant and obvious. A Maharlika student shoves past a Timawa girl in gray, sending her books flying. Nobody helps her pick them up. Nobody even looks. My hands curl into fists. Dado either doesn't notice or doesn't care. He's chattering about the academy's history, the prestigious alumni, the honor of legacy admissions. I nod along, watching the Timawa girl gather her things alone. We reach the Maharlika wing, a massive Spanish colonial building that probably cost more than a small country. Inside, everything is marble and dark wood and family crests on the walls. The Silvera quarters, Dado announces, opening an ornate door. 3 floors, fully furnished with attached staff quarters. Manang Juana is already here to assist you. I step inside and stop. This isn't a dorm room. This is a house. Multiple levels, a library, a sitting room, bedrooms I probably won't use. All for one person. Me. It feels wrong. Manang Juana appears, Felipe's wife, round-faced and motherly. Luna, come, let me show you everything. Dado excuses himself with more platitudes. Manang Juana closes the door, and her expression shifts immediately. Okay, that act is exhausting, she says, accent dropping from formal to normal. You must be overwhelmed. That's one word for it. She gives me the real tour, points out the hidden exits, the one bathroom with actual water pressure, the kitchen she's already stocked with food from the estate. Nothing from the academy kitchens, she warns. Trust me on this. We're heading to the upper floor when I hear shouting outside. I look out the window and see the same Timawa girl from earlier, now cornered by 3 Maharlika students. They're not hitting her, just intimidating, looming, making her small. We should go, Manang Juana says quietly. It's not our business. She's being bullied. Luna, Juana's hand on my arm. I know it's wrong, but if you intervene now as a Silvera, a legacy family heir, you'll make it worse for her. They'll target her more just to punish you for interfering. So I just watch, for now. Her eyes are sad. Until you understand how things work here, until you have enough power to actually change things instead of just making them worse. I hate that she's right. I hate everything about this. The Timawa girl escapes while the Maharlika students laugh. I watch her run, and something in my chest burns. That evening, after Dado's gone and the sun's setting, Felipe and Juana sit with me in the quarters sitting room. Isabella asked us to tell you something, Felipe says. When you're ready. I'm ready. Juana pulls out a small wooden box. Inside is a necklace, simple silver chain with a pendant that looks like 2 faces merging. It's warm to the touch, alive somehow. Your mother used this, Juana explains, when she wanted to move between worlds, to see both sides. It's called Gemini, or twin. It's sentient. As if on cue, a voice echoes in my head, female, amused. Hello, Luna. Took you long enough. I drop the necklace. It talked. She talked, Juana corrects. The spirit inside is a deva, powerful. Your mother convinced her to help decades ago. She can alter your appearance, your whole presence, make you someone else. I pick up the necklace again more carefully. You're really in there? Obviously. And you're really considering this insane double life thing? Bold, stupid, but bold. What's the power word? I ask out loud. Pagbailo, Felipe says. Change. I hold the pendant, feeling its warmth, feeling the deva inside assessing me right back. If I do this, if I walk in both worlds, I can see everything. The Maharlika side and the Timawa side. The truth. You can also get caught, Juana warns. If anyone discovers you're living a double life, then they'll discover it. I slip the necklace on. It settles against my skin like it belongs there. What's my other name? If I'm going to be someone else, I need an identity. Lucia, the deva suggests. Close enough to Luna. Different enough to matter. Lucia, I test it. Okay, Lucia works. I stand in front of a mirror, take a breath, look at myself. Luna Silvera, legacy family heir, Maharlika elite, everything I never wanted to be. Pagbailo, I whisper. The change is instant and nauseating. My reflection shifts. My face stays mine, mostly, but elevated. My cheekbones are sharper, my eyes more European, less obviously Filipino. My hair darkens to deep blue-black with silver streaks that weren't there before. Even my posture straightens, Maharlika confident, like I own every room I enter. This is Lucia, the person I could be if I embraced everything the legacy families represent. I hate her on sight, but I'm going to need her. Sexy, Gemini comments. Very rich girl with secrets. I approve. Can I change back? Same word. Pagbailo. Change works both ways. I speak the word and snap back to Luna. Regular face, regular posture, regular exhaustion. Then Lucia again. Back and forth, testing, until the transition becomes smooth, natural. Felipe and Juana watch with expressions I can't read. Your mother did the same thing, Felipe finally says, near the end. When she was investigating the binding rooms, she walked both worlds. It's how she found the proof. It's also how she almost got caught. But she escaped, I say. She ran, Juana corrects. There's a difference. Luna, if you do this, if you really do this, you need to understand. The academy isn't just corrupt, it's dangerous. People who ask too many questions disappear. Students who challenge the system have accidents. Your mother escaped, but others didn't. I know. Do you? Juana's voice cracks. Because you're 18 and angry and grieving, and I'm worried that combination is going to get you killed. Then teach me to be smart instead. I look between them. You've lived here. You know how things work. Help me survive long enough to actually change something. They exchange glances. Some silent married couple conversation. Okay, Felipe says finally. But you follow our rules. You don't take risks without telling us. You don't try to be a hero. You're here to learn, observe, and survive. The revolution comes later. Deal. Juana pulls me into a hug. She smells like the coffee fields and safety. Your mother would be proud of you. And terrified, both at once. Sounds about right. I spend the rest of the evening testing the Gemini necklace, Luna to Lucia and back. Each time I feel myself splitting, not painfully, just fracturing, like I'm becoming two people at once. The view from my window shows both districts, Maharlika luxury to the left, Timawa struggles to the right, and in the middle, Maaram Academy, beautiful and terrible and hiding secrets that got my mother killed. I touch the pendant, feel Gemini's presence, ancient and amused and way too comfortable with danger. Ready for this? She asks. No, not even a little bit, but I'm doing it anyway. Because somewhere in this magical, gorgeous, corrupt city, there are spirits in chains and students being crushed by hierarchy and answers about why my family ran and what the Night Mother prophecy means and how to stop Malia Sangre. And I'm going to find all of it, even if I have to become two different people to do it, even if I have to walk both worlds until I can't remember which one is real. Manang Juana was right. This is how my mother started. I just hope it's not how I end.